anytime you have to change the customer's path to purchase is when you see a pretty steep drop off. So if they have to check in with a QR code, they have to check in on an app, they have to take a picture of the receipt, they have to tell the person at the front counter, they have to print off a Groupon, you forgot the Groupon, whatever it is. All of those things contribute to this. Is just, it becomes more cumbersome. Where if all you have to do is link your card, find the deal, and then just go there and shop or dine, it makes it much easier.
What's up, Zach Oates here, author, entrepreneur, and customer relationship guru. Welcome to Give An Ovation, growth strategies for restaurants and retailers, where we find industry leaders to share their secrets to grow your business. This podcast is sponsored by Ovation, the actionable guest feedback tool that works on or off premise and is easy, real-time, and actually drives revenue. Learn more at ovationup.com. Welcome to another edition of Give An Ovation. I am joined by Sean Vazan of LuckyDiem. Sean, right out of college, cut his teeth doing paychecks, and he went enterprise at Oracle. Then he repented, saw the light, and now is doing tech startups. LuckyDiem, working with restaurant retailers. Now, LuckyDiem is a super interesting company that has a cost per revenue model that you have got to hear about. And he doesn't just, look like an angel, but man, this marketing tool seems heaven sent. Sean, thank you for joining us today. And tell us about, what does LuckyDiem do?
Yeah, thanks, Zach. That's a great introduction. So it's really simple. So we empower restaurants and retailers to promote their business online with no upfront costs, no contracts, no new hardware, no new software, through a cashback offer to help drive more customers into their store. So
it sounds really risky.
It does sound risky, but that's actually the best part. What we've been seeing over the past couple months with this pandemic is people cutting budgets left and right, not looking to take any risk with anything. They're getting rid of their Facebook ads, their Instagram ads, any type of AdWords through Google search engine optimization, but they still need to promote their business to drive customers in. We're completely risk-free without having a setup fee. We're simply doing pay per sale. So if this doesn't work, it doesn't cost anything. If it does work, it's self-funding.
So I think that is super cool. And for those of you who are interested, I definitely recommend going to LuckyDiem. Definitely check out Sean. We'll get to the end about how to contact him. But it is one of those things. He walked me through the entire system, the entire platform. It's a very cool platform, and definitely one that has a couple of unique things that have broader implications. And I want to talk about that today. Namely, one of the things that's so hard about marketing is attribution, right? You put out an ad, and you have like a little coupon, but other than that, it's really hard to do marketing attribution. And consumers or customers, businesses, we need that. We need to know where the money is coming from. Why do you think that it's been so challenging to get marketing attribution to other tools outside of LuckyDiem?
Attribution is so hard with marketing because what it comes down to is the customer journey. Is where is that customer seeing the marketing, and then how are you able to track them to the point of sale, to the till? Because of our direct integration with the 3 card brands, all of our cashback offers are linked to the consumer's credit card. We can actually track them from did they see this cashback on Yelp? Did they see it in Retail Me Not? Did they see it on Swagbucks? Or maybe they saw it on their banking app in Wells Fargo. They've now seen that there. They've linked their card. They walk in. As soon as they swipe their card, we see that transactional data. So we have 100% attribution from online advertising to in-store sale.
So someone comes into my store from you guys and they swipe their card, then you get paid.
Correct.
So if no one comes into my store, you still get paid?
No, it's this is cost for revenue. So if we don't generate revenue, you have no cost.
And see, this is the thing I was telling you earlier, that like, if that really is your business model, right, which kind of seems crazy, because so many people have tried it and it hasn't worked, and you're still in business. It means like it's working, which is
Yeah.
really cool. Like the proof is in the fact that you're a business still.
Absolutely. And part of that power is that publishing network of websites and apps. We have over a couple hundred different websites and apps where consumers can find this cash back. So they may be looking to buy a ticket on Hawaiian Airlines and they see this local deal section, or they're in their Uber app in their wallet and they see the cashback section there. There's so many different ways that this can get in front of consumers. And now more than ever, people are constantly looking for deals. What we've seen is over 70% of consumers now will look for a deal before they go shopping or go to a restaurant.
So along with that attribution, what would you recommend if somebody doesn't use LuckyDiem? What are some principles that they could use to make sure that they're tracking their attribution?
It's really coming down to you got to ask yourself, whatever you're spending, how can you make sure to be able to justify that cost? If you are doing paid social media ads, how are you able to figure out who's coming in? What systems have you set up? If you're not using a LuckyDiem or a card linked offer, what systems do you have set up so you're capturing that customer data, finding out where they came from?
Yeah, because I think that's one of the things where attribution is, in some respects, more important now than ever, because channels are changing. How consumers are finding out are shifting. When consumers are coming in are different. And so when you're able to link all those things and to really capture those guests, if you're not doing it, someone else will, right? So that's what's so important.
Well, and that's what's exciting about Ovation is that you're tying a lot of that stuff together as well. We're making sure, LuckyDiem is making sure that if you're spending any money for your online advertising and digital marketing, that it's actually generating revenue. Now we're driving those new customers in. Once those customers come in, there's still that customer journey of what was their experience and how can you do things to get them back. So it's a very, very nice synergy between LuckyDiem and Ovation.
Totally. Not to go too much of a bromance on this, but right, it's like it does. If you don't have customers coming in, then you don't have customers coming to your business and spending money. Then what does the guest experience matter? And what does the guest experience matter if no one's coming in, right? And so
exactly.
Yeah, totally. Now, along with that guest experience, one of the principles that we've seen be so important is that convenience, making it easy for the consumer. I love about LuckyDiem that you don't have to download an app and make some booking thing and do something online and track it with a receipt and carry around this coupon. Like with you swipe the card, right? You make it so convenient. Right. So do you feel like that's been something that's contributed to your success? Hint, I think it
absolutely. Absolutely. It's anytime you have to change the customer's path to purchase is when you see a pretty steep drop off. So if they have to check in with a QR code, they have to check in on an app, they have to take a picture of the receipt, they have to tell the person at the front counter, they have to print off a Groupon, you forgot the Groupon, whatever it is. All of those things contribute to this. It becomes more cumbersome. Where if all you have to do is link your card, find the deal, and then just go there and shop or dine, it makes it much easier.
Yeah, because how many times are people missing out on attribution just because they're making it too hard, right? Don't make it so hard for the customer. Just find easy ways that they can, you can get that attribution. I think that's awesome.
These restaurant operators, they got to think about themselves. What would they be willing to do as they're setting up their programs? Would you do it as a consumer? If you wouldn't do it as a consumer, then you got to think your customers wouldn't do it either.
Yeah, that's a great point, right? Because you look at things like receipt surveys, right? And you go to a room and you say, everyone raise your hand who likes to take receipt surveys, and no hands are raised, and yet that's like, up until Ovation, that was pretty much it. It was receipt surveys.
Yeah.
And same thing with
attribution. I don't need that. I don't need the 3-foot long CVS receipt that I have to scan a QR code at the bottom and then go online at a certain time to answer 10 questions.
Yeah, and type in 20. I love, my favorite is when people say, we'd love to hear from you. Type in this super long URL and type in this 26-digit unique code that has numbers and, alphanumeric. It's like,
Yeah.
you obviously don't want to hear from me. So,
Right.
as part of this new normal, as people are going out there and as they're looking at getting back into marketing, what tips would you have for them as they're reopening up their Facebook budgets, their Instagram budgets, as they're looking to bring people back into their restaurant? And maybe they didn't, maybe they don't have a list of 20,000 email addresses and 5,000 phone numbers they can message to. What would you recommend to those people kind of wondering, like, what now? Like, how do I get people back in the door?
Yeah, I mean, it's visibility. It's just it's the more people see you, the more it gets ingrained that, hey, you're still in business, you're open for business, and to come back. So it's trying to get the biggest distribution you can, most bang for your buck. So if you feel like your Facebook ads budget is going up and up and up as it does every year, maybe divert it to something else. Try new things, but ultimately, ask, is this something that is low risk with big rewards? I mean, that's kind of the golden ticket that everyone wants: no risk and all rewards. But it's making sure that you're understanding that you are going to get something out of it. Don't look at it as like, I need to have social media. You do, but you don't need to pay for social media ads. You can create your own content there. What else can you do that's going to distribute your branding across a lot of different platforms to ultimately drive more customers back and then keep them coming back?
Yeah, totally. And any last piece of advice that you give to listeners and viewers?
I mean, at this point in time, just hang in there. All this COVID stuff will pass, and we will get back to normal eventually. But in the meantime, look for solutions like LuckyDiem where there's very little risk and a lot of reward, to make sure you can keep the lights on and the doors open.
Awesome. So key takeaways. One, I love your comment about how attribution is difficult because it is so fragmented. There are so many pieces, and so it makes it hard to really track that in. So always be thinking about your marketing dollars. How do I attribute this? Because it's more needed now than ever. Two is go with the flow of the customer. Don't try to teach the customer new things. Go with what they're already doing. Understand the touch points of your customer from seeing your brand to ordering with your brand, and make that so simple. Eliminate steps, especially for attribution. Three, just, it's all about visibility right now. Get your logo out there. Make sure people are seeing you. And lastly, I love that this too shall pass. That was something that Abraham Lincoln would often talk about, an Eastern monarch who put above his doorframe a phrase that he would want to be true no matter what, no matter, good day, bad day, whatever. And the phrase that all his wise men came up with was, this too shall pass. And of that, Abraham Lincoln said, how humbling in times of victories, how comforting in times of failure. And I think that is absolutely right. And, we're lucky to have you on here, Sean. So Sean, how do people find you, follow you, contact you, or LuckyDiem?
Yeah, so they can, anyone can check out our website, LuckyDiem, all one word, kind of like Carpe Diem. So it's seize the day, LuckyDiem.com, or they can email me direct at Sean, Sean.Vazan, Vazan at LuckyDiem.com.
Awesome. Well, Sean, today's ovation goes to you for having a solution that is truly cost per revenue. It is the lowest risk marketing tool that I've ever seen in my life. And so while normally we don't get this deep into discussions around, particular vendors, I was just super impressed with your solution, impressed with you, and grateful to have you on, man.
Great. Thanks for having me.
Glad you're with us today, and thank you. Thank you to the risk takers, the troublemakers, the crazies who are keeping this world clothed and fed. You're the ones who deserve an ovation. Again, this podcast was sponsored by Ovation. To see how we can help you grow your business, go to ovationup.com. Don't forget to subscribe, and as always, remember to give someone in your life an ovation today.